Hello YouTube, Messenger and Bother here with another video. Now, in this video, I just want to say that I finally came back from being off the grid for a bit, and good thing I didn't leave that long, but during my time of being off the grid, a lot of things were reoccurring in my head, and it made me realize that those reoccurrences in my head, I wanted to vomit it out. I wanted to essentially use this YouTube channel what it's meant to be. As I stated throughout the YouTube channel, this YouTube channel is more like a diary and more like a self therapy, if that makes any sense, where I should vomit everything that I'm thinking of, my memories, my opinion, political opinion, even controversial stuff. But this is just my thing, my you could say this YouTube channel is a little gateway, what's going on in my head. And my goal with this YouTube channel is reaching out with other people in terms of other people, that are in the same boat as I am. But the problem is, and this is a huge, huge problem, and I feel like this is something that everyone goes through. Me as an individual, I can barely help myself. And that being said, I don't think I could help anybody except um what's the word I'm trying to look for? Inspired. I could use my words to inspire people to do better, but there's so much that I can do that in a sense I can't really help anyone. Especially the fact that I can barely just barely help myself. And it's very hard. Like it's very hard to help anyone that's in dire needs. At church, I remember there was this guy who I sort of befriended, and I use the word sort of because he was a good individual, but he had severe autism. And one thing I noticed about him is that he had a very troubling childhood, and that's something that I could relate with him because I too had a troubling childhood. And despite that he's in a dire situation, like he lost his job, he could barely help himself. Me personally, I couldn't really help him other than inspire him, be there for him physically. In other words, trying to be a good friend with him. And so far, I'm kind of glad that I try my best on my end to be a good friend with him. And I'm glad that I try to maintain and establish communication with him. But I could tell that he needs help. And it kind of sucks. It sucks because I really want to help him because in a weird way, this is going to sound weird, but I sort of see myself in him. And I think a lot of people will point out that this is empathy. And yes, it is. It is empathy. But more importantly, it's more like a sense of altruism. Altruism because I want to. What's the word? Alright, since I talk a lot about politics here in this YouTube channel, the left, they tend to be altruistic just to give themselves a pat on the back. Me, I sort of have that feeling, but I want to be sincere about it. And when I say sincere, I mean like actually helping someone without the need of the fakeness, if that makes any sense. Because one thing I learned to hate as I'm growing up, as I become an adult, well, I'm already an adult, as I, learning life had on my own, I really hate being fake. I really hate fake people, fake help, fake everything. for once in a lifetime, I just want something real. And I kind of wish that realness continues, if that makes any sense. I know I sound gibberish and vomiting my words out, but all I'm saying is I want something genuine and something, consistent of that genuine. So, me, if I ever get in trouble, I want a person that genuinely helps me. If I want a friend, I want a person that genuinely wants to be my friend, but not faking it. If that makes any sense. And that goes far into relationship, which I hope you guys understand throughout my YouTube channel. I've been saying this over and over again, that most men they are willing to get into a fake relationship, especially women. Women will fake their attraction towards a man. And to me that's bonkers. That is absolutely bonkers, but those things does happen. And the saddest part is that it becomes too late when those two individuals realize, they invested so much that when they break up, the breakup is very harsh, very bad. And I feel sorry for the guy because the guy is going to suffer the most. But yeah, these things happen because people are not being honest with themselves in the first place. In other words, people are not being genuine. So if we want to make the world a better place, we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to accept our limits. So that's the whole point of me making this YouTube channel and me making podcasts. So stay tuned, guys, because I will, from here on out, I'm gonna start making more and more videos. And I know I keep saying that, but yeah, I'm being serious. So yeah. So in my next video, I'm gonna start talking about my previous job. So stay tuned for that. Boy, I got a lot of stories, especially about this pizzeria place that I used to work at. And they were like eye-opening lessons that I learned, especially when it comes to age. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. Message in the bottle, over and out.